Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams announced last week that he will be running for mayor of New York City. The announcement was made on a video Zoom where a few hundred people from his family members, friends, supporters, and co-workers were there to actually listen to this announcement that officially the Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams will be running for mayor. The primary should be happening next year in June 2021, and if he is elected, Eric Adams will be the second African-American ever to be elected as mayor of the city of New York. We should remind you the very first African-American mayor of New York was David Dinkins from the year 1990 to 1993. He is until now the only African-American mayor that New York City ever had. Donc je dis c'est annoncement ça que nous allons présenter puisque Brooklyn Borough président qui c'est monsieur Eric Adams qui en pile nous connaît, en pile haïtien travaille avec Brooklyn Borough président ça. Eh bien, il a annoncé officiellement dans un Zoom meeting avec plusieurs monde qui étaient branchés à regarder, nous avons dit plusieurs centaines de monde. Eh bien, il était annoncé officiellement que le pourrait aller dans la course électorale. Ça, pour l'année prochaine, il retire Chita sous chaise bourrée, actuel maire qui Chita déjà bien confortable, monsieur Bill de Blasio. Alors, Bill de Blasio, c'est le maire de New York. Donc, élection pour le fait là, l'année prochaine, primaire, c'est en juin 2021. Et nous sommes dit tout à l'heure là, c'est pour peut-être, s'il arrive élu, c'est pour le deuxième maire de race africaine, africain-américain, nous dit, de race noire, qui t'a venu, et bien arrivé Chita dans la mairie New York là, comme maire de New York, deuxième noir. C'est appelé l'histoire, encore une fois. Est-ce que Eric Adams est capable de faire? Évidemment, il est toujours possible, puisque dans l'élection, on pas jamais connaît. Surtout que ces jours-ci, ça c'est analyse qu'on a fait, c'est pas information qu'on a fait, c'est analyse qu'on a fait dans ce moment-là. New York est entré dans une dynamique de mouvement Black Lives Matter, quand pile a changé, et maire Bill de Blasio lui-même a reproché plusieurs bagailles. Et Eric Adams, Brooklyn Borough président, lui-même paraît avec une belle histoire, un bel background, côté que lui-même il était policier dans la cour New York, il était victime de police brutality. En tout cas, il présentait tout plan que le pour ville New York la semaine passée là, et il parlait tout pour qui ça. Pour les gens qui sont même dans New York capables de voter, pour qu'ils puissent voter pour lui, qu'au noir, qu'au blanc, qu'au asiatique, qu'au jaune, quelle que soit la race là. Eric Adams nous va présenter extrait ça que Téléimage a participé là-dedans, by the way. La première c'est Madame Rose Guerrier qui lui-même et journée jeudi a fait partie de campagne Eric Adams depuis quelques temps. D'ailleurs, il est ensemble avec Eric Adams, il était recevoir Eric Adams sur plateforme émission ça à l'entap couvrir l'élection présidentielle nous songez Madame Rose Guerrier, c'est une monde qui est responsable médias et mes relations médiatiques, médias internationaux. On dit dans la campagne Eric Adams, ça nous va le faire parler avec tout à l'heure s'il est disponible, s'il est capable. Mais en attendant, on a regardé announcement ça. Officiellement décacheté campagne, nous capable de dire son campagne qui décacheté tout, côté que Eric Adams était annoncé en virtuel, en Zoom meeting que lui candidat comme prochain maire pour ville New York. À nous suivre.
And I see the faces on this amazing Zoom. I see my Latino brothers and sisters, my African-American, Caribbean, Chinese, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Indian, Sikh, Haitians, all the different diaspora that is part of this amazing city as we call New York City. I'm so proud to have so many of our communities that are here. That email I sent you was to tell you that we can't meet face to face, but we're doing a Zoom to Zoom. And I wanted to give you to share the information of this important day. And if you're ready, I'm ready to share with you. Today, I am announcing that I am running for the mayor of the city of New York. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you. Let's go, Eric. I just really want to thank you all so much. And to you, brothers and sisters, we have waited a long time for this, and now we're here. So many of you have been with me for years, and it means so much to me. I've been fighting the fights with you on the ground to make our city safer, fairer, better for more than 30 years as a police officer, civil rights advocate, a state senator, and as your Brooklyn Borough president. I say it all the time. I have worn in armor and fought against injustices for you for so long. Some people look at my armor and they see the dirt, the kinks, the grind, and the damage. But you look at it and you see all those imperfections coming from being on the field of battle, fighting on your behalf. You are my strength so that I can be your voice. And I cannot say it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's look at this city we call our home. Our city is facing a crisis like we have never seen. We have lost nearly 25,000 New Yorkers to this virus and hundreds of thousands of jobs. And I know it far too well. And we are still losing. Infection rates are back up to dangerous levels. The fight is far from over. Every week without a job, a family goes deeper into debt. Every school day a child can't get proper instruction, she or he loses a little bit of their future. And it's Black and brown New Yorkers who are losing the most. And that is nothing new. COVID may have been thousands or impacted thousands of New Yorkers, and thousands of New Yorkers were sick, but far too many, it was inequality and indifferent, dysfunctional government that killed them. And we need to be clear on that. People talk about a tale of two cities, but we need to acknowledge that the dysfunctionality of government is the author of that book. We need action, and we need it now. The city is in serious trouble. We have already been through a lot, and the future we face is full of monumental challenges. Now is the time to turn our pain into purpose together. As you know, like many New Yorkers, my life has been full of struggles. And like so many, those struggles did not start with COVID-19 pandemic, and we need to be clear on that. It did not start with the recessions that the COVID-19 created. Like so many New Yorkers, my struggle started early in life. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up in South Jamaica, Queens. It wasn't always easy. My mom's worked tirelessly cleaning houses to help make ends meet and raise her 6 children. When we came home from school, we didn't know if we would have food on the table or an eviction notice on the front door, and that was real. But we persevered because that's what New Yorkers do. And as hard as it was, I still grew up loving the city, its people, its cultures. New York are all laid on top of each other, finding common connections in those struggles whenever there are differences. But as a 15-year-old, I fell and had a difficult time. I faced a life of uncertainty. My brother and I were arrested for trespassing and beaten by police in the 103rd precinct. That was a dark moment for me, but I had people who loved me and the determination to change things. So I did what no one expected. I became a police officer to change the NYPD from the inside, to take on systemic racism from within. Not an easy task, but I believed it was possible. And that is why I spent my entire adult life in public service. That's why I co-founded 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement, to reform the NYPD so that our city would be fairer and, most importantly, safer. This is why I became a state senator and why I became Brooklyn Borough President. Because I lived the life of the people I want to help. I turned my pain into purpose. During my 35 plus years as a police officer, community organizer, and elected official, I have seen what works and what doesn't in New York. Part of our city has moved forward and others have remained in the 1970s. It's time to move all of our city into the 21st century. And it is lower income New Yorkers and others dependent on city services who have been left behind. We will not lose or leave anyone behind. We can fix this and come back stronger and better, but we have to make government work much better than it is now, because inefficiencies leads to inequality, which leads to injustice. Let me say this again. Inefficiencies leads to inequalities, which leads to injustice. It leads to inequality when lack of a quality education leads to incarceration for our young people. It leads to inequality when lack of health care and healthy foods lead to higher rates of chronic diseases, hospitalizations, and death for Black, brown, and immigrant New Yorkers. It leads to inequality when lack of investment in communities of color leads to sky-high unemployment. We can't continue to run this city the way we have been. We can't lose ground on the progress we've made. We can't return to the crime and grime of the past. I want to be clear. My son and your children won't grow up in the city that I grew up in, that I grew up in. We need more than ideology. We need action. So I say, the time is over. It's our time now. It's time for the city to deliver to all and for all of the people of the city. It's time for New Yorkers of all incomes to live in a safe, clean neighborhoods. It's time for access to opportunity, no matter your background. It's time for law enforcement that protects New Yorkers while it respects civil rights. It's time for a public health revolution that keeps COVID under control while closing the vast racial gaps in all forms of care. This city should allow all New Yorkers, no matter their income or ethnicity, no matter what their beliefs or how they worship, no matter who they love or how they want the world to see them, to be who they were meant to be. That is the promise of New York City. And I have every belief that when we unleash the potential of New Yorkers by allowing them to thrive, there is no pandemic, no recession, no division that we cannot overcome. We will turn our pain into purpose. Just as we have overcome our personal struggles separately, we will also overcome this great adversity together. To deliver on this promise of New York, I know you will help me. We have already gotten started. Today, I released my plan for fixing city government, and in the coming weeks, I will put out detailed plans for turning this city around. Because this is not only a race for the mayor of New York, this is a race to save our city. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for 8 million plus New Yorkers. And trust me when I tell you, New York, we got this. We got this. Thank you very much. Love you. Let's continue to move forward.
Well put together. Thank you, King Eric.
Way to go.
You brought you.
Let's go.
Got this.
You're doing so much.
Eric Adams, 2021.
I'm Eric Adams, and for me, this is where it all began. Some people talk about police brutality. I want to tell you how it is to live through it. We moved from Brooklyn to Queens when I was young. It was not always easy. As a child, I'll carry a garbage bag full of clothing to school, afraid that we would be evicted from our house for not paying the mortgage. When I was 15, my brother and I fell into trouble. We were arrested, and we were brought here to the 103rd Precinct in South Jamaica, Queens. One of the police officers stated, "How do you like a beat down?" He brought us downstairs and he beat us. He kicked us over and over again. When my mom came to get us, they said, "Leave them. They'll never amount to anything." That was a dark place. My life could have gone a different way, full of bitterness, but I had people who loved me and a determination to change things. So I became a police officer to bridge the gap between us, to make us all safer, and to take on systemic racism from within. It's why I took on police brutality while I was a police officer myself. Why I became a state senator to take on corruption and fight for civil rights for everyone. Fighting the rights for individuals merely to marry the people they love. And why I'm proud to serve as Brooklyn Borough President to make local government work for people again. We're in a dark place right now, a dark moment for New York and America. Whether it's the pandemic or violence in our streets, we don't feel safe. And too often, city government makes things worse, with inefficiency that leads to inequality and holds our people back. But I learned some time ago, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you're not buried, you're just planted. The question is, what are we going to do with the fruits of our harvest? I say it's time to grow. And that means it's time to rise up.
I'm fired up! I'm fired up! The fight can't only be in the streets, it must also be in the agencies that patrol the streets. That is how we change policing. Over 600 shootings since June, and we have yet to see a comprehensive plan to stop having these communities live in terror. You do us no good merely walking down a block with us. You do us good walking into our businesses and giving us the economic stability that we can continue to grow. We will not allow the devastation of coronavirus to make us stay away from helping our neighbors.
We're facing a crisis unlike anything we've ever seen before. Businesses are closing, crime is rising, homelessness is soaring, and our families are struggling. To be truly progressive and overcome these challenges, we have to fix government and eliminate the inefficiencies that are holding us back. We can't have an education system that fails to put our children on a pathway of success and leaves them at a dead end of crime and hopelessness. To revitalize our city, New Yorkers of all backgrounds need to feel safe and secure, that they'll have quality schools, affordable health care and housing, and a fair shot to get ahead. I spend my life tackling these issues, improving our communities, making New York families safer. Yes, we have big challenges, but we're New Yorkers. We respond, we take action, and with the right leadership, we will rise up again.